everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you've been watching my channel, you know I've kind of talked in the past about how I wanted to branch out into some different subjects. Up until this point, the majority of my content on my channel has been about like recovery, personal stories, and things of that sort. I'll still be talking about those things, but when I heard about the Asia Graham case and the recent developments in it, I just felt really called to share about it on the platform that I have. A little backstory for this case. This case was in the media. You may have seen it, you may not. The news articles kind of picked up on it. I've looked on YouTube myself, and there are, news articles, a couple of YouTube videos regarding the case, but nothing recently. And I didn't know about the case at the time that all of this was happening. The way that I heard about it is because Asia's brother, Anthony, is my friend on Facebook. He married my cousin. So when we became Facebook friends, I started seeing posts about Asia and her story. And it wasn't until here recently when Anthony was posting some of the more recent stuff that I was just like, yes, I need to make a video about it. Right now, Asia and her family are currently in a legal battle again, even though they've already sentenced her rapist. He was originally sentenced to 18 years and 3 months, and they are now trying to let him out on parole after they initially said no parole. So there is a petition that will be in the description below this video if you would like to help support Asia's justice and her family in their endeavor fighting against the corruption in the military and trying to keep her rapist in prison. If you would please sign and share the petition that will be posted in the description of this video, that would be great. So Anthony and the rest of Asia's family, they have worked very diligently these past few years, not just to secure justice for Asia, but for other victims of violence in the military. I really just wanted to come on the channel and share this story. I reached out to Anthony once he was posting about how they were planning to release her rapist. He was kind of asking for help and for people to share it. So as a smaller content creator, I feel it's my duty to cover the things that our mainstream media is censoring or won't cover. So I'm very grateful that Anthony was willing and vulnerable, coming on the channel, sitting down with me and diving into everything in this case. We have court documents. We have all the details that we went over, and it went really good. I don't feel like I really need to give much backstory because we did go over the whole timeline. So we will get into that in the interview. I'll save that. But I did just want to share a few statistics before I share that part of the video. So it's said that around 10% of veterans experience sexual assault in the military, and it's highly underreported. 81% of people that are assaulted don't report it because they are scared of retaliation. Somewhere between 50 to 60% of those who do report it did experience retaliation. And a lot of the times, around a third of those people that report it are discharged from the military and sent home within about 7 months on average after reporting. It's honestly a shame that this is happening in our country. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the interview segment of this video. Again, thank you guys for watching, and if you could, please check out the petition that's down in the description. Today we have a very special episode that we're doing. We're going to be talking about violence in the military against women, and I have a special guest here today. This is Asia's brother. Say hello to everybody.
How y'all doing? I'm Anthony Graham. Nice to meet y'all. I appreciate y'all listening to this whole subject matter and everything.
Yep, so Anthony agreed to come on the channel today. I really appreciate your vulnerability, being willing to talk about this. This can be a sensitive subject. We're going to be talking about violence against women. So if that's not for you, feel free to go look at some of the other videos on my channel. We will be getting into some hard topics, but I kind of want to just start back in the beginning before Asia got into the military. So leading up to it, when she was in school, when she was younger, what is she like? What did she do for fun?
All right, so she was adventurous, okay? I'm talking about coming back home with a deer skull, adventurous, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I found a pet lizard, adventurous, And also, she loved our nieces and nephews. There's a bunch of pictures that I have where she's either holding them or taking them on those adventures, looking at water and streams and so on and so forth. Animals, for sure. The reason I got chickens in a chicken coop is because of her. The reason why I got a snake it's because of her.
Right.
You know, both of those are some real, like a dog.
Yeah.
Everybody knows a dog,
Yeah.
but a snake and a chicken, that's kind of different, you know. But so basically, she was just lively, just loved everything, and like high spirited.
It's just beautiful how you guys honor her and try to make sure that her story lives on and her legacy and helping other people. You know, like it's not just about her.
Yeah.
It's about other women.
For sure.
So when she went to the military, like I read through like some of the original news articles, but I haven't started following until more recently her case. So just kind of explain to me, I did read, it was very quick, you know, she went to base and she was assaulted like within the first month or so, was it?
Yeah, so she went to AIT.
Okay.
And then she went to basic, right? I think it was AIT where she went to Fort Jackson, right there in South Carolina.
Okay.
Right? She went to Fort Bliss. I kind of felt good about that because of the fact that when I was a kid, my dad was also stationed in Fort Bliss.
Right.
And all I had was great memories about that.
Yeah.
She went there, and then in May, she just called me like, hey, can you move with me? And everything, so I did. And then that's when I found out that in December, that's when she had got raped.
Right.
And she told me about everything that else went on, how she reported to a male sergeant in February about it.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. And that's why she wanted to call me, because she wanted to feel like she had somebody in her corner. Because anybody that she tried to turn to in the military just ignored her.
So essentially, like, she was assaulted, she tried to report it to the higher ups, and it wasn't until after that that, like, your family found out about what had happened.
Yep.
So at that point, she's trying to report it and all of these different things. So what exactly were they doing to, like, handle the assault and the abuse she was dealing with while she was there?
So when I got there, and she told me and my whole family and everything like that. She told a female sergeant, Sergeant Clay, that was her name, right? So whenever she came forward and came with all the papers home and everything like that, Sergeant Clay followed her, and she was good. Yeah, I ain't mean to say follow her, and that sounded bad, but she came in and she explained to me how the military was looking at it. I thought it was like kind of be open shut, but it wasn't. She was like, if anything happens to Christian Alvarado, your sister's going to get blamed for it. Her case will be thrown out. She will be discharged. And that's the moment that I realized that I'm going to have to protect my sister from the military, because the military is protecting the rapist from my sister.
Yeah, and I've heard about that, like, in different cases where, like, there was a woman that was assaulted and she recorded it for proof, and then they charged her for non-consensual pornography, and the rapist got away with it. So, like, it's sad that that's reality, but it happens for so many women. Like, even me, myself, when I was assaulted, like, they dropped the rape charges and everything. He only served 3 months for crimes against nature. Like, it happens every day, you know, in the military, you know, in civilians, like, everywhere.
For sure.
And that's why it's so important. Like, that's why I'm so glad that you were willing to come talk about this, because it's something that I take personally. I know a lot of women and other people out there take very personally. So she ended up going and trying to report it, and it wasn't really working, essentially. So with her death, now I read in the news article at first they were saying there was no foul play. So have they done like an autopsy? Like, did they give you a cause of death?
She passed away from, she choked on her own vomit from fentanyl pills, right? But I want to go ahead and say, when we were younger, she used to tell on me about that. And I'm saying younger, I'm not talking about 6 or 7. I'm talking about 13, 14, 15.
Like teenage years.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Telling on me about some weed, you know? So it wasn't like she was doing drugs before the military. The military made her turn to drugs. Because when she turned to them, she got pushed away. You know what I'm saying? And like, she passed away from a fentanyl thing, and I try to have peace about it, and of course I don't wish nobody else to pass away, but it's just crazy to me how 3 people all went to the same person, and my sister was the only one to pass away. And then like one of them woke up and all they did was put a blanket on her. They didn't, like, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't check
but
on her.
You see what I'm saying? And then after but then here's the thing that's like always has had me conflicted. It's because like after her trial, one of her fiance, right? Because that was one of them that was with her. After her trial, she got on the stand and everything. She committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? But that's a scary link right there.
Yeah.
The other one got sent to prison for a little bit. That's a scary link right there. Well, how come they wanted to get rid of all three of those people?
They don't want them to talk.
You see what I'm saying? My mom, she got into a car accident. She broke all her ribs and her lung collapsed. Right?
So I read that you had to come back here to be with your mom. Yeah.
I had to come back up here to take care of her because at that time I didn't have no kids. At that time I didn't have no career. You know, so I'm kind of the one that can move back and forth between the families whenever help is needed.
Right.
I didn't want to leave her, and I promised that I was gonna come back once my mom healed up to help her, but I just didn't have enough time.
Right. So we have documents here. These are legal documents regarding the case. This is gonna piss people off, but like, it's the paradox of hate. You have to hate the world enough to want to change it, but love it enough to think that it's worth changing. Like, she was mad at the corruption, but she still loved her country.
Next, the allegations deals with 5 alleged victims over the course of approximately 2 years. That's 2 years, 5 different females, right?
Yes. So the Christian, the person that assaulted her, he didn't just assault her. Like, this was repetitive behavior. Like, this was multiple women, multiple victims. And so now they're trying to let him out.
I'll go ahead and list how everything happened. Okay?
Yeah, let's just go in chronological order.
My sister, she got sexually assaulted December 30th of 2019. A Christian also sexually assaulted another person May 8th, 2020. Then another person August 26th, 2020. So if the military would have just did what they were supposed to do, then none of this would have happened. My sister came forward to a male sergeant in February. If that male sergeant would have did what he was supposed to do, he could have protected 2 other females from getting assaulted, from getting damaged, from having trauma, from having to sit there in a case and describe something. The third victim on August 26th was a civilian, right? He choked her and had her disabled kid crying in the next room. He was sitting there, assaulting her, listening to a baby cry, while that lady was looking with fear in her eyes, begging him to stop with her face because she couldn't say nothing.
That's heavy. Like, he's assaulting fellow vets. He's assaulting civilians. Like,
damaging the kids, like memory,
with
everything. You see what I'm saying?
Like, in my opinion, not only did he assault somebody, he did it with a child present. Like, where is sex offender registry? That's a crime. Like, having sex in front of a child knowingly like that's sex offender registry. Like, that's child abuse.
And where would he not try to attack somebody?
If you're willing to do that,
imagine if they do let him out and he's at the mall and you got a mother walking with their kid and he just grabs up the mother.
And like that, honestly, like, the more I hear about this case, the more it fucks with me. Because, like, I talk about it all the time. Jasper is disabled. I'm out in public with just me and Jasper. You know, he's nonverbal. He can't speak. Like, what if something happens to us? And hearing stuff like that, like actual cases where things like that have happened, like, that fucking terrifies me for me and my son, like, the world he has to grow up in. And, like, for the other kids, you know, with disabilities and, like, parents, single mothers, women in general, like, it's just like, how as a society have we failed to protect our people so much where we're letting these people just walk free? We got people in jail, misdemeanors, little things, people stealing diapers to provide for their kids. Oh, they're in jail for years and years, but you rape somebody, you kill people, like, whatever, and they're just letting them out because of their military status. That is wrong.
It's sickening, disgusting, disturbing. And another thing is, there was an incident he had in high school. Felons can't join the military because they made a mistake from trying to feed their family. They made a mistake out of seeing their mother get hurt and they reacted this way.
Yeah, like survival instincts.
But You're telling me somebody who sexually assaults at that time, I don't know, well, teenagers is not gonna sexually. You see what?
Yeah.
You telling me we're gonna stop people who made a bad choice, but allow this?
Right.
You
And
know
it's
what I'm saying?
Rape is like the one crime. Like, there's just no excuse for it. Like killing
I
people. It might be self-defense. Stealing. Oh, maybe you're hungry or whatever. But like rape, there's no excuse other than selfish desires. You know, like
Exactly.
there's just no excuse. There's no reason. There's no justification. Point blank. Period. And they're just trying to make excuses for whatever reason and let him go out and live his life. He doesn't deserve that because he stole that from so many women. Like, even though if they're still here, like their life is not the same after that. You know. 33 witnesses, 33 people, expert witnesses saying, yeah, he did it. We have multiple victims saying, yeah, he did it. And they're still just saying, oh, let's let him out.
It was 18 years, 3 months. So boom. Does the military judge recommend a suspension of any portion of the sentence? No, no, no. There was supposed to be no chance he got out unless he did his time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Years, yeah. And then you have the appeals letters. So he's tried to appeal this multiple times over the course of. He's been in there about 3-4 years now. Serving.
4 years.
4 years.
And I got about 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 appeals in 4 years. How can somebody get appeals? In what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Two different appeals in 2 months?
And there's so many people, like there's a wait list of people that are out here trying to get their charges expunged or dropped for misdemeanors or small things, you know, those things we talked about that are excusable. Like there's people trying to actually do better and change their lives, getting appeals. And he's just using up the resources every couple of months like, oh, I raped somebody, but I want out. Like, crazy.
All of that. So, we didn't get none of that information. 0%, right? I didn't get no letter in the mail about a hearing notice, that I can send a letter, that I can come through and speak. I didn't even get a notice that he was getting an early release. What if this dude got out and wanted to try to harm me from coming through? You
and
see
I know,
what I'm saying?
like, there's a certain policy they have to follow, you know, like with victims and victims' families, like if their abuser or something gets out, like, because I had that, you know, like with my case, like if he bonded out or any change, like if there was anything, they send you notification. They're legally supposed to like let you know of those things for your safety. So they didn't give you anything at all to say, hey, this dude is trying to get out. No notice.
No, nothing. Besides these appeals, and each one of these appeals saying denied, 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 denied.
So
I didn't
essentially,
get nothing else.
it looks like they're kind of trying to make it look like they're saying, oh, well, he tried to appeal, we denied it, we denied it, we denied it, so it looks good. Now, this last time, you don't have an appeal letter for this time, I'm assuming, because he has the parole date posted. You haven't received any notice because you found out from what, like a family member, right? That he was up for parole at the end of this year. So it's like they try to get you comfortable and say, oh, well, we're denying it, he's staying in, but then they're going to let him out and not tell you.
I forgot, a little sleight of hand. Look this way while I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing is when I went to my advocacy, who I consider my family member, because of everything that we done got done together. When I went there, I just went there so she could see my son, meet him for the first time. And she was like, I hate to drop this on you, I'm working on it, but look, this is what's happening. I didn't get nothing from nobody. If we wouldn't have been checking up on it every single month, or
probably not found out.
never would have found out. She didn't want to tell me on the phone, because then she can't. She don't know my reaction. You know what I'm saying? What if I act crazy and want to go? You know what I'm saying? But no, I know I got a family now. I know how when my sister was alive and I was with her, she was like, I'm gonna do this, all of this right, because I want to set a precedent for the rest of the military. You see what I'm saying? If I sit here and do this, I'm just a pawn in my command's game. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I got a rapist here. Oh, the person he raped killed that person. Cool. Boom. So that rapist is gone. Now I lock this person up for jail. Boom. Everything's done. You see what I'm saying? Trying to pit soldiers against each other because they don't care. Like,
they want to just get it covered up inside so it doesn't go out into the public. It's like
he used to be a House of Representatives for North Carolina. House Speaker, right? So, and I talked to him and I told him every single thing about my story. And you know what he said to me? He said, the government has no control over the military.
Yeah, it's like a separate entity.
Exactly. He said it's like the fourth branch of the government.
Like the fact that there are just all of these women and all these people being hurt, because I know it's not just women too. Like you hear about men in the military getting assaulted and raped. Like this isn't just women. This is everybody.
Whenever we was going to trial and everything like that, they put me with this retired military police colonel, right? And he told me a story about this dude who was getting gang raped in the Air Force.
Right.
A helicopter was taking off. He jumped towards the helicopter to try to kill himself. The wind pushed him back the first time. He broke loose from people trying to hold him and made sure to kill himself the second time.
It's like, how sad is that? That like you go to serve your country and you die because you commit suicide.
So, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. There should be U.S. soldiers dying on U.S. soil, and a U.S. barracks should be maybe 3.
Yeah.
If even.
You know, like,
because you can't get in if you got asthma.
Yeah.
You can't get in if you got asthma.
Yeah, like
can't get in if you got concussions, heart problems, nothing. You have to be the fittest of fits, right?
So, like, you know, you catch, like, a sickness or something like that, you know, natural circumstances, yeah. But, like, people sign up to the military and, like, they know in the back of their head that they may not come home. But I don't think it crosses their mind. They may not ever even get the chance to leave home. Like, they're going to die before they even get to go out and serve their country. Like, that's the hardest part for me. Like, knowing, you know, I might die doing this, but not thinking, oh, I'm going to die before I get to actually do something good. Like, it's not going to be the bad guys. It's going to be the good guys.
I'm not getting killed by my enemies. I'm getting killed by
your teammates. Yeah, like, they're supposed to be on your side, and you're in this same fight together.
That's why I'm appreciative of you doing this. Thank you for letting me share my story. See what I'm saying? I just found all that he was getting out. Also, he's getting out 21 days before my sister's death day. He went to jail in June 2021. So I halfway feel like it's just a sick joke. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're releasing him December 10th. He got locked up the year 21. Add 21, that's 31. Yeah. That's when my sister died. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
They're just kind of
They're trying to put a little funny little joke to it. Because you couldn't appeal. You lost every one of those. You're doing it illegally. So why wouldn't you add a little sinister joke?
On the cake, you know?
You're not gonna laugh at my sister's death. You're not gonna laugh at my sister's Trump. None of that. You thought I wasn't paying attention, and I was. You feel me? And when people are operating illegally, you don't want no attention on you. You don't want no light on you. That's why I'm going to bring every single light that I can. And one light bulb illuminates 100 miles.
I don't even know what we can do. Like, I know that there's the petition, and I will have the petition in the description below the video so that everybody can sign it and share it.
Thank you to everybody that does sign it too.
So he's set to be released on parole in December of this year. And I know that you've been talking about, like, plans in the future. So what are your plans, other than this petition, what are your plans for Asia's case and for the other people in the military that are going through this?
So whenever I thought all my troubles was kind of signed, sealed, and delivered, you know, like, yeah, I was checking, but I never thought that I would be having to check and be shocked. I thought it was always going to be the same thing.
Done. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So much to the point where it was kind of like oh yeah, I did that. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did that. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, all the way done. I could have just been like not caring at all and just went about my life, not having to share my sister's story again, because like it hurts. You know what I'm saying? But the past 2 years, we done went, me and Megan, me and my mom, we done went to DC and helped other families who have been like Denisha Montgomery Smith out there in Germany. Yeah. They said that she hung herself on a closet coat rack. A bar like this is not holding up no woman, no 30-year-old woman, like 0%. For example, another person, she said, all my sons' dads are dead from gun violence. I have no hope. I don't know how I can even pay my next bill. I don't even know how I'm gonna raise these kids to be men. I'm just willing it. My son went to the military. I found hope again. And then they killed my son and took his brain out. Like, do you hear how devastating that is? A mom finally had hope again and lost it all because the military want to cover up rape.
Right. So, like, it's not just this one case. Like, there's so much more corruption outside of her case that you're advocating for. You know, like tampering with bodies of soldiers.
Yep.
You know, like covering up deaths, ruling it suicide or whatever when it really
Yep.
it was murder.
Yep.
So you've been going to DC. You've been talking to all these people.
Like I said, I found everything out like 5 days ago. So
this has been very fast.
Yeah, you have kind of been my first big step besides making posts on Facebook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And connecting with people
Yeah.
and like reporters. But this was actually my first like snowball to get the event rolling in a sense.
Okay.
You know, that's all I can do. Bring light into the situation. You feel me? It's hard to operate evilly if you got light on you.
Yeah.
They operate best in the dark. Whenever I do, if y'all could repost that and share that. So, because truth be told, like media companies, they don't
cover
care.
it. Like the big news articles, they're censored too
Yep.
because you know they get federal funding and stuff like that.
Yep.
They're not going to cover this. So once we have some more stuff going, like, and we can keep spreading the word, keep sharing the petitions, keep sharing the protests, whatever you do, like I'm behind you, 100%. Is there anything else that you want to touch on?
They're gonna try to stall. That's just what they is. But like when my sister passed away, whenever we went to the news stations, then they said they were gonna withhold my sister's life insurance policy. So that's playing games with that.
Procrastinating.
You see what I'm saying? And then part 2, that death certificate. Waiting to do when we were supposed to get my sister's body to have a funeral, they said, "Oh, we might have to wait 2 more weeks." They're gonna try to delay. They're gonna try to make it look like we don't know what we're talking about when we receive this information, so they can basically bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Like whenever Asia, the first time we had to fight this, like shadow banning.
Yeah.
I would post something.
On like Facebook.
If I post something about Asia, I get 0 views. If I post something about Jay-Z, Juice WRLD, Eminem, something like that, I'm getting 90 views.
Yeah.
How is this getting 0? And this, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a real thorough fight that we have to do. Just stick with me. You feel me? Like, we got all the way to December. Like, this isn't something that's next month. Like, this is like 7, 8 months.
We're not giving up.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking.
Like he said, I think the best thing that we can do as people to support this case and all the other cases, all the other people, is to just talk about it. Share it anyways. Talk about it in person. You know, spread awareness. I will have the petition posted in the description. I will have Anthony's socials linked. He posts more frequently about this. Pretty much every day I go on Facebook and it's something new. So I do want to do a follow-up video with you sometime once we get some more solid plans. That way we can keep everybody that's following along. I have a lot of people from across the country that are not local to our area, so they may not know about this case as much. So if you guys want to stay tuned and stay updated for what we're going to have the next couple of months regarding this case and trying to keep Asia's assaulter in jail, just subscribe, like, follow along on the channel. I have my social medias also linked. I post about it on Facebook and Instagram and all those other places. So we really just want to spread awareness and keep talking about it, keep sharing it. And once again, thank you for coming and talking about it, because it's kind of a two-way street. Like, you have to be vulnerable and open, because I know this is hard, and I want to give you my condolences as well. Like, I'm very sorry for your loss. But yeah, I just want to do what I can to support, because this is a together thing. Like, we're in this shit together. It's for everybody. So if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll try to do my best to answer them, or have Anthony answer them.
Sure.
So if you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, or if you have a story regarding military violence that you are comfortable sharing regarding yourself or a family member, the only way we can spread awareness is to talk about it and bring it into the light, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So again, thank you guys for watching this video. We'll keep you guys updated on what's next to come, and if you could, please sign the petition in the description in order to support the case and protecting our women.